All right, guys. Hey, Zach here. I'm with my guy Masri or Mo Masri
Yes,
or
sir.
whatever. Everyone has like three aliases that they go by.
Dude, there's so many Mo's in this
There's so
agency
many
now.
Mo's. Yeah.
There's too many now.
What? So you Masri, you've been in business with Mahmood for how long now?
So I started probably last January.
Okay.
When
I thought it'd been longer than that. Got it.
Yeah,
So you started last
last year.
January. So you've been a year and a half in the business.
Year and a half, yeah.
Okay. Remind me, what were you doing when you started doing insurance?
So before I got into insurance, it's actually a funny story. I used to trade stocks. So
Okay.
that's actually what I thought I was going to do after college. I was looking at broker positions. I was going to move to New York, do that full time. I had a couple mentors, back when I was trading, and I was in college. Actually, I was a sophomore. So I would actually make pretty good money from trading. But the thing about that, industry is if you just take like one bad position,
Yeah.
it'll like wipe you out. There's
Yeah.
something called tilt, and like it's known in business. Like when you tilt, you lose a lot of money. You just start like going on this like emotional like downhill spiral, and that's kind of what I went through a lot in trading. So it's kind of like all over the spot.
So it's like gambling when you get down, then you just keep doubling down.
Yeah, keep
and then
doubling
you're
down,
like, oh
yeah,
shit.
and then you just
I just
go
lost
into this
30 grand.
Yeah, literally. So I was,
I've done that before.
I was 17 in the back of algebra class. I just lost like $1,000.
Okay.
Dude, I would literally just like walk out of class. I'd be like, dude, screw this. But like I was like determined. I wanted to find something entrepreneurial. I did not want to go to college. But it was like being a first generation kid, having first generation parents, that's a really huge thing. You come from overseas.
Were your parents born here or they were born overseas?
They
and
were born
moved here?
overseas.
Okay.
They moved here, yeah. So they moved here when I was 2.
Okay.
I was born here, and then they moved back here when I was 2. And they've always wanted to see me go to college. That was
Yeah.
like the main thing is like, either be a doctor, be a lawyer, something like, because that's some of significance and some of importance, coming to America and doing all that. So that's
And
pretty much-
culturally, that's like a decent sized expectation in your guys' community, right? Is like you
Huge.
be a doctor, a lawyer, or you run a
Yeah.
business, but like they didn't look not like the insurance business,
Yeah.
like a physical brick and mortar business, right?
Yeah, literally.
Got it.
Yeah.
What do your parents do?
So my mom's a nurse and my dad owns a restaurant.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. What kind of restaurant?
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
very cool. So they moved here when you were 2.
Yeah.
They started their businesses. They did pretty well. You did insurance. You stared doing insurance. When did you go full time in insurance?
So I didn't go full time right away. So it was a couple weeks. I was still in college. I went full time probably. I want to say like a month after I got in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in college a little bit. I still had to juggle out classes. I knew right away like I wanted to drop out. Like as soon as Mahmoud showed me his deposits, I was like, bro, he's showing me deposits more than like my professor probably makes in like a whole year. He just
Yeah.
showed me in 1 month statement. So I was like, all right, cool. I just need to show my mom like I'm doing something and I have some sort of income and I'm done.
Yeah.
That was pretty much my mindset. And after a month, I got myself out of my debt from trading. I finally cleared all my credit card debt. It was probably like a month and a half after I cleared all my debt. It was like 15K. And once I made my first 15K, I dropped out.
So I don't know a lot about trading. I don't, but I read the book about Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger.
Yeah.
And the only context I have about trading is that their entire business they built was just about buying like one stock that they valued really high and like
Yeah.
holding it forever.
Yeah, so that's
Like
more
that's
like,
the opposite of trading, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
so
you're
that's
day
more like,
trading.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
more of like investing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're putting their money into something that's gonna grow and compound over time. And those guys, they like put in like Disney, Coca-Cola when they like first started out.
Yeah,
so,
they made big bets early, and
Yeah.
then they have like
Yeah.
the most valuable stock in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Berkshire Hathaway stock.
No, exactly. But the thing that I took away kind of from trading, what really helped me out
Yeah.
in insurance was, dude, I used to spend so much putting into my trading account. So like whenever I started out, in insurance, like my first $1,200 went to leads.
Okay.
Because I used to have, huge positions, whether it be 2,000-3,000 in trading. So I was like, dude, like someone's telling me they're putting $1,200 and $1,500 in, and they're bringing out 10,000 a week. Like in the trading industry, if you're making 10,000 a week, like you're a guru, and you can start selling a course at that point. And you actually start getting people in your core. Like that's a huge deal in this industry. So
Yeah.
you're telling me an 18-year-old kid coming straight out of high school is able to spend $1,500 and being able to net 10K a week. It was a no-brainer to me to start spending money on leads. That's
Yeah,
I feel like
that makes
what helped me
sense.
the most.
No, it makes sense
Yeah.
100%. So, so you started doing that, but was it hard for you to change your or you lost money? You're like, I can't do this anymore because I don't have any money. Like, what did you think about going into insurance when you first heard about it? And then what do you think has changed now? Like now you're bought in, you got it, you've made money doing it, you're all in. But what was your initial thought about insurance? Like that sounds lame.
Bro, it's like when Mahmoud was posting about it, I don't know, like, dude, obviously the content that you see right now, everyone is like, it's not what was posted like 2 years ago. So like when Mahmoud like first started out, he would post all these like final expense appointments that he was in. Like,
Yeah.
he was like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, like literally, like I saw like 10 selfies in a day of him like in houses with old people. I'm like, dude, what is he doing?
Yeah.
He was just, I just saw him like last week at the car lot, and now he's in old people's homes. Like, I don't know what he's on. So like, it was weird because I had to start out at Aflac. Aflac. Yeah, it was Aflac, and I started.
Oh, you started at Aflac first.
I started at Aflac.
Okay.
Yeah, 30% commission.
That's how you found insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I found insurance, and I always knew that Mahmoud was doing insurance, but I reached out to Aflac for an internship because I still thought I was gonna do trading. So I was like texting Mahmoud. I was like, bro, should I join Aflac or should I try with you? And Mahmoud was just fed up. I just kept annoying him about it. He was like, bro, just go there for a month and then come back to me after you're done and we'll compare numbers.
Yeah.
Did that. We went to local.
So he literally told you, he was like, I don't care if you work here or not. Go work at Aflac.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
And in my back of the house, I was like, dude, fuck this guy. Like he's telling me, he's like literally telling me not to work with him. So I was like, all right, bet, say that.
Yeah.
And I went to go work at Aflac, and then bro, no leads, 30% comp. Dude, my manager would have me. It was just me and my manager. He'd have me come in every Monday. We would sit for like 30 minutes, and he would tell me what to do, and he would just like send me in the field with like this girl.
Yeah.
And just like literally go cold knock on. It wasn't even life insurance. It was literally like supplemental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supplemental health. So
Yeah.
it was a way different system, bro. And like I was so grateful when I started here. Like Mahmoud gave me as many leads as I could dial. Literally.
When you started here, were we doing in-home still, or were we doing virtual at that point?
No, virtual, 100%.
Virtual,
yeah,
okay, got
yeah.
it.
Like Ronnie,
It was only 2 years
everyone was
ago.
rolling
Yeah,
for like 6
yeah.
months. So yeah, like Joey Dials, Coach, all of them were like they were all in the Zoom at that time. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I've told people this before. Like, I think when I started in 2017, there was a lot of sales jobs you could do where you could make pretty good money. But like, I don't think insurance was all that much better. I think it was better because there was no cap on your commission. You had leads, but it wasn't that much better because like I was flying to Ohio every other week to run insurance. You know, I was taking a Allegiant Airlines flight. I was like, dude, this damn plane feels like it's gonna crash.
Yeah.
You know, like I have PTSD from the creaking on that plane.
Yeah.
I used to fly to Cincinnati every other week to sell insurance.
Yeah.
You know, and then transition now to where 8 years later everything is done virtually.
Yeah.
But the size and scale is so much better now because you can get. Dude, we used to pay $80 a lead to get a mailer in.
I remember.
And now you guys probably. What's your average spend per lead? You know,
bro, I think right now it's probably like around like $6-7 a lead.
$6-7 lead.
Like,
do you know what you spend to make a sale? Do you have any idea? Like how many leads do you need to make a sale?
Okay, so if I'm spending $1,500 a week and I'm getting 300, maybe about like 300 leads a week.
Okay.
Probably like every 30 to 40 leads I'm expecting to close. So like 30, 40 people I'm expecting to close.
Got
so
it.
if you break it down.
So if you spend $1,500 a week and you sell how many policies a week?
Like 10.
Got
10
it.
policies is probably what I would aim for. You're minimally, you're looking at 10,000. Because if each policy is like, $1,000, you'll have some banger policies. Especially
Yeah, so you're only spending like $150 to $200 per acquisition.
Yeah.
Like 200, maybe 250 per acquisition.
Yeah, exactly.
God, that's crazy. And if you could do that in the trading world, you would spend all day long, spend $250 to make your average commission's $800.
Yeah.
You would do that all day long.
Yeah, literally.
They wouldn't even let you do that. Companies would dump trillions of dollars into it if they let you do that.
I remember my first 4-figure month in trading. My mentor, which was Ahmad Ashraf, and dude, he probably brings in like 10, 15 million a year, right? He literally shouted me out on his Twitter.
Yeah.
When I made my first 4-figure month, just when I was positive, that was a huge milestone for me. So the second I came in insurance, I made my first 50. I was like, bro, night and day. And then I got introduced to the building side, and I was like, all right. So like this is where it's like game on. This is how people start actually building wealth.
Yeah.
I don't need to sell a course. I don't need to like sell a dream to people. I can actually genuinely help people, show people how they can help their families, help our clients. You know what I mean?
Dude, so I'm glad you brought that up. So we started doing the Instagram ads, and we started having people reach out on there. And the reason we started doing that was so that, because everyone was asking me like, what's another thing I can do for recruiting?
Yeah.
I'm like, have you tried Instagram ads? It's like, no, does it work? And I was like, well, I'm not trying it. And everything I've ever done in business, I've always tried it first before I tell people to do it. So I'm like, I'll try it. We'll see how it works. And then once I know it works, then I'll replicate it.
Exactly.
But I bring that up because one of the most frequent questions we get asked on there is they're like, hey, do you sell a course? Or hey, what does it cost to work with you?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it doesn't cost anything to work with you. They're like, what do you mean? And I have these DMs all the time. I'm like, no, it's free to work with us. Like my job is to teach you how to sell life insurance. You have to pay for your fingerprints to the state when you get licensed. Like that's it.
Yeah.
We'll even give you leads to get started. And people are mind blown because I think a lot of the world that you've come from, it's all like paid courses, or someone was telling me the other day, they're like, dude, I paid $3,000 to be a high ticket closer, and they were supposed to place me with someone that would let me sell with them, but they paid $3,000 to work somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Think about what we do. Like we get people paid $3,000 their first week to work with us.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's why a lot of people are skeptical. They're like, yo, I mean, all these people are doing like just like what's the catch? All these people are successful, but you guys aren't selling a course. You guys are telling us the course is free. Like what's the catch? I feel like that's kind of what throws people off guard, but they just gotta understand like it's really work ethic.
Yeah,
like,
the catch is that you have to work your ass off.
Exactly. I don't know who said this. I forgot, but they're like, dude, I mean, your first month, 2 months, like you're really auditioning for success.
Yeah.
Like your first 30 to 90 days are really crucial in the business. It's not like you're coming in here and you're guaranteed 10,000 right off the rip. So you have to work and earn your stripes.
Yeah, you're guaranteed zero, right? That's the downside. That's the catch.
Exactly.
So you started doing this. What's been your best month selling so far, and your best month team production?
My best month selling so far is shy under 40,000 is 38,000.
Okay, and strong.
Yeah. And then my monthly like total team production was 220,000.
Okay,
that was last
220K.
month. Yeah.
So you started doing that. You're starting to make decent money.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a real grind to get up and get started in this business. Like, do you think it helped having the perspective and talking to your parents about where they came from and everything like that? Like, what is seeing like your family, other friends that have come that are first generation here, what they've had to go through to then this opportunity? Because I feel like everyone in y'all's community that started doing this has been like, this is so much easier than all my other options. Like, why would I not go all in here?
Yeah, bro. So I feel like and you see this a lot in Playbook Institute too, because they have a lot of people that came from the Middle East as well.
Yeah.
Dude, we grew up from such a different culture. Like when you go to Palestine, you go from any of these countries, even in the Middle East. I'm from Palestine, but when I'm there, when you're in the villages, bro, like, dude, we don't have AC. Like we have those ACs that you see on like the wall. Like there's literally no central
split
AC.
units. Yeah.
Yeah, display units. And it's a whole different lifestyle over there. Like I'm blessed to at least I've gone like 3 times.
Yeah.
And I went 2 years ago, so I literally know how they live. And coming over here and seeing, especially on my parents' work, like, dude, there's actually people like working for an hour and they're making $20, $30 an hour. So when God puts you in a position to where He's like, hey, this is where you're able to make your generational wealth come out, and this is where you're actually able to help and bless your family. Like, it was really humbling. Like every time I look back, I'm like, dude, this is like extremely humbling to see where my parents came from, where my family came from, and coming to America. Like this is like they think like going to college is the American dream. Well, for some people it is. They want to get an education, be a doctor, lawyer, or something like in the professional space. But this is where I feel like I'm able to like really make myself stand out. And really like build the income for my family. Like there's nothing like it, especially when you come from overseas. Like they can't fathom it. You know what I mean? How does your parents' perception of what you do change now after you've been doing it for a year and a half? So it helps a lot that I was in the business with Mahmoud and Ronnie. Okay. Like that's where they're like, all right, cool. Like I trust this. It was like the first month, 2 months they didn't trust. They're like, dude, like you can do this while you're in college. I don't care what you do, but you're staying in college. When I started bringing in some money, I started introducing. I showed like my mom knows Ronnie's mom. Like they're like really close. Yeah. So I was like, she was like, oh, okay, Ronnie's 34, he has kids, he's doing this, he's full time. Maybe this is legit. Okay. And my dad, he ran a restaurant, bro. After like by the way, he didn't know I dropped out of college like maybe 6 months ago. Okay. Like I was so scared of what he would say, but after I told him, he's like, dude, who cares? Like, he runs a restaurant, right? Yeah. He gets like, bro, he really didn't care at the end of the day. Like he just wanted to make sure like I was good, because you got to think about it, like at the end of the day, they just want to see you do better. Yeah. Like it's not like, they want us to go to college for like the name of it. They generally think like that's the way out. You know what I mean? Well, dude, I have kids now. I have 2 kids, and it's changed my perspective on a lot of things. Because I could see like before, I think you think your parents do stuff because because at least this is what I thought. I thought they were telling me to do things because I would reflect poorly on them if I didn't do what they wanted to do. Yeah. And I thought it was selfish. Now I realize, I'm like, dude, I think it was just that they wanted to make sure that I was going to be okay above everything else. And they were unsure of the path I was going down. Yeah. But it wasn't that they didn't trust me or that they didn't believe in me. It was that they were like, they just want you to be okay so much. Exactly. And I think like that really changed my perspective and made me have less of a chip on my shoulder as it pertains to my parents. I'm like, you guys just wanted me to be good. You weren't trying to like shit on my dreams. Yeah. And then for me, it was like, I dropped out in like sophomore year, but you were like about to go to med school, and your whole family were doctors. So I bet it was like 10 times harder for you to tell your family like, yeah, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to do this insurance thing. And my mentor, Sean, you can meet him over here. And like, I bet like they were just like totally like caught off guard by that. But how long did it take for them to kind of get over that? My first year in the business, I didn't tell them what I was doing for like my first 3-4 months in the busins. Oh, okay. Then I told them. And I think they still thought I was going back to school at some point. And then I told them that I was not going to go back to school. But I didn't ask for feedback. And I was just like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And I think that everyone in my family knows me pretty well. Like, I'm very driven, and I'm very stubborn. Yeah. And if I make my mind up on something, I'm not going to change it. So no one really tried to change my mind. Yeah.
Because I didn't open the door. I didn't ask for advice, you know? And so like, I think I've been good at setting boundaries with people in my life where I'm like, hey, like if I want your advice, I'll ask for it. If I don't, I won't ask for it. Exactly. And I think that they knew that they were kind of fighting an uphill battle, trying to convince me of anything anyways. So they just decided to be supportive. And now they're like super supportive of it, and they love what it's done for my family, for my grandkids, or for their grandkids to be able to see them and be able to, you know, provide for them the way I've been able to. So they love it now. Exactly. You know, the other thing is like my dad's a doctor, has built a practice, has had to go through all the things that go along with being a doctor. Yeah. And I think that every career has its ups and downs. Yeah. You know, and so like he kind of is like the work-life balance of being a doctor. Yours is a lot better. It's a lot more flexible. You may work all the time, but you can do it around your schedule. You know, when you started recruiting and building a business, what now that you're recruiting a bunch of people, what's changed the last 2-3 months, or what have you learned now moving forward to where you feel like you're going to be able to scale your agency? Is it, you know, the way you view yourself? Is it the way you view the business? Like, what's changed to allow you want to scale up now more?
So I feel like when you're building a huge business in the beginning, what I was mainly focused on, honestly, when I started recruiting and bringing on agents, I wasn't really focused too much on getting them paid as much as I was getting myself paid. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll bring them on. I have Mahmoud. I'll just good looks with Mahmoud. He'll help train them. Yeah. He'll make sure they're good. And what I started to notice, like especially in the like last 3 months, because I've been stuck around the $100,000 to $150,000 range for a good minute, and I've been bringing on new heads. So it's like, all right, why aren't we cracking these milestones? Yeah. I just wasn't too much involved with my guys. Yeah. So something I learned a lot from, you know, Tanner, and what I learned a lot from Ronnie is you really have to focus on getting your agents paid. Yeah. Like I really like what Ronnie said. He's like, dude, if you're putting your all into the business, like I'm gonna bleed out before you bleed out. Yeah. And I think that's really, really important when bringing on a new agent. It's like you have to instill confidence in them, but you're not gonna be able to do that unless you have confidence in yourself first. Yeah. So like, especially like when I started recruiting and building my first 3 months, I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself to start bringing people on in the business while I was selling. So whenever I started to instill that confidence in myself, whenever Mahmoud, he had to talk with me a lot. I'm like, dude, this is how you're gonna implement this to be a leader. And by doing that, all your guys are going to start implementing as well. But you doing the stuff you're doing right now, like, dude, you're going down a downhill path. You can't be, you know, messing around doing, you know, X, Y, and expecting your guys to start paying $20,000-$30,000 a month. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, it makes sense. Yeah. And that's, I think the hardest part about our business is that you have to go, okay, I want to get my guys paid. But everyone tries to do it for everybody. And it's like, you have to do it with the people that are showing up, that are there all day long at the office, that deserve the effort. Yeah. If people aren't working at all and you try to make them get paid, like you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, you know? Exactly. And I think a lot of us who I care about people deeply, but you have to get really good at setting the right expectations for like, you have to do this and this to get help. And that's what Ronnie's done a good job of. That's what you're going to do a good job of is, hey, like if you're here at these hours making these dials, like I'm 100% in. Yeah. If you show up at noon and make 26 dials, like I'm not remotely in. I'm gonna ask you to leave my office. Exactly. You know? Yeah. And I think as long as you set good expectations up front with people for what you expect and put a game plan in place with them, then they'll follow it. Or if they don't follow it, then they can't be confused when you're not helping them. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I think I've noticed you've started carrying yourself differently, more confidently. Do you think it's more confidence in the business, more confidence yourself as a leader? But the way you're talking about the business and carrying yourself now, I think is allowing you to recruit people with more confidence. Like what's changed? 100%. What's changed the last couple months?
100%. Dude, I feel like what's changed for me the last few months when I started bringing people on, it's like, dude, at this point, like if I'm not going to be helping, like, dude, they're actually like entrusting me with their income. You know what I mean? Like their future, they're kind of relying on me in a way to lead them and mentor them. You know what I mean? So I can't be messing. Like it was kind of 3 months ago, kind of like in January, I had a sales slump in December. I didn't really sell much, probably like 10K. Yeah. And dude, I had like 10 guys under me. And when I noticed like the ripple effect it had on them, like them not seeing me sell, even though I had Nash in the office, like they would still come in and they would kind of look at me as a mirror, and I would notice like they would kind of mirror the stuff I was doing. They weren't working as hard. They weren't as aggressive because I wasn't as aggressive. So that like really took like a hit on me. I was like, all right, if I'm not being confident in my business, if I'm not being confident in myself, I'm not going anywhere. And what really helped me as well, to be honest, the circle I was around. Yeah. So I started out a year ago, right? And I was with Coach, Al, Ronnie, Mahmoud, all in the Zoom. So I'm like, bro, these guys are gonna grow at a rapid like pace. If I don't pick up my stuff, I'm just gonna get gapped. Like I'm gonna be left behind. So I'm like, dude, if it's either now or never, and if I don't do this now, like none's gonna happen. When I started instilling confidence, I knew like right off the bat, your energy is better. You're gonna be better on the phones. You're gonna be better with recruits. They're gonna entrust you more. They're gonna feel more confidence in themselves. Yeah. All that stuff's just a ripple effect. And you really have to get out of your head to do that. And
Yeah.
it takes some time. You have to fall on your face a little bit, but it definitely happens.
Yeah. What is you talk to someone, say someone sees you post something on Instagram, someone you don't, or they reach out to you, someone you knew from high school, and they go, dude, what's the insurance thing that you do? Like, how do you explain it to them quickly? Like, what's the 30-second overview you give them?
So the 30-second overview, pretty much I give them, let's say someone reached out to me from high school and they're asking, you know, what are you doing, what does this say you're doing? Yeah. So I'm just like, dude, essentially I'm in virtual sales. I don't even say I sell life insurance. I pretty much say, dude, I'm in virtual sales. I call warm leads, and I ask them, do you know what a lead is? Have they ever heard of that?
Yeah.
They're like, no. I'm like, dude, there are people that fill out information online. So we're not cold calling. We're not calling people that are interested. We're calling people that fill out a form online. And my job is pretty simple. I'm just giving them the information. They asked for it, and I'm just closing them on the phone. And I tell them, you know, the average commission is anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a policy. And after that, I really just kind of dig into their situation. I'm seeing like kind of why they reached out and what they're looking for. I started doing that a lot, you know, after my first few months of recruiting. What I used to do, Zach, a lot in the beginning, I would just ramble about the business for like 20 minutes, enroll them in the course, and then hopefully they'll text me back saying they're finished. But like what I noticed, what Mahmoud kind of told me is kind of like, I say, like, you have to get their why. You have to know why they're doing it and what they're looking to expect out of it. Yeah. And once I started doing that a lot more, like, it built a better relationship with my agents, especially when they started coming on board, and I was able to help them a lot better.
You have to identify the problem, right? That's like that's like that dumb example that in like Wolf of Wall Street when they're like, hey, sell me this pen, and everyone like starts pitching it. Like the point of that is not like, that's not like, everyone tries to pitch everything they do, sales, recruiting, and like the right answer, I think, or what I would do is I would put that in my pocket and I'd go, hey man, what's your name? Mazri. Okay, cool, man. What do you do for work? And then I would just start talking to you about your day, and then I'd go, oh, got it. So hey, you sell insurance for a living. Do you track like metrics, KPIs, anything like that? Got it. Okay. Hey, you probably need a pen. Like, you figure out what the actual problem people have is, right? Instead of just going like, hey, this pen writes good. Exactly. It's like, if it just writes good, doesn't mean anything, right? Exactly. I used to do the same thing in recruiting. I'm like, this is why we're the best at this, 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 and this. And if you can slow down and go, hey man, what do you do for work right now? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? What would you change about it? And you start to uncover whatever people's issues are, and then you can plug our thing in. It makes it make sense for them, and they're much more willing to do it, you know?
Exactly. And another thing I used to do as well, Mahmoud kind of helped me with this a lot. I used to break down a lot of like the building side. Yeah. In the beginning, like a lot. I used to ramble about that because I used to be like so geeked about it. Yeah. Right. But Mahmoud was like, bro, like, you have to break it down in simple terms for them. You can't over complicate it because like that's just too much information going in their head. Get them paid first. Show them like this is real and they can make it like sustainable income off it. And then from there, they can start showing other people how to make money. Yeah. But it was like, whenever I figured that out, I was like, dude, this is like a systemized thing where there's steps to it. There's really levels to it. And you got to like kind of like lead someone into the business slowly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Start building them up as leaders slowly. And then from there, they're going to start, you know, doing their own thing and they're going to start popping out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
yeah, you take it step by step, right? It's like step one is like you learn how to sell. Exactly. Step two is you teach someone else how to sell. Exactly. You know, you learn how to recruit and then teach someone else how to sell. And then step three is like you teach other people how to teach other people how to sell. Exactly. And like there's not a lot of, now that's simple to say. There's a lot that goes into learning those skills. But once you have those three skills, that's it in the business and you can scale infinitely. Exactly. So, well, dude, I'm looking forward to watching you kill it the rest of the year. What's your goal for your team production by the end of the year?
My goal for my team production by the end of the year, I want to say it's $1 million. I know everyone's goal is $1 million, but right now I feel like at 200,000, I can reach it. 100%. Yeah. I just need to reverse engineer it. Yeah. Probably hire like 5 new directs a month. Make sure my guys are recruiting. Yeah. Make sure they're doing their own thing, and we'll get there 100%.
Awesome, dude. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Well, next time we do this, you'll be at $1 million a month.
I'll be at $1 million, 100%.
All right, let's do it.